We can only hope. So yeah, this is a 4-act play, under 20 minutes, that was concocted by myself, Deborah Kinsey, and my collaborator, Deb Martin. It's a bit of a literary treasure hunt. It's a romp, let's say, through time and space. Our main character, Lilith, has been portrayed as a creature of evil and a vampiric demoness. Did you know that?
Yeah.
First appearing in the Mesopotamian epic poem Gilgamesh, she also appears in Jewish folklore and the Bible as Adam's first wife until she left his sorry ass because he was being such a jerk. This character has been much misaligned. So we are endeavoring to reimagine Lilith for our modern times. We've sprinkled in some Greek tragedy, Elizabethan rhyming schemes, Shakespearean soliloquy, erotica, so much melodrama, and a couple references to 70s musicals, to just name a few. The performance tonight will be done with scripts in hand, so it's kind of a table reading on steroids. So, with apologies to the aforementioned, without further ado, let's jump into Matters of the Heart. Act 1, Queen of Demons, the incantation.
Sing in me, muse, so I may tell the story of one wrongly marked as a dark, dangerous succubus.
A prodigious queen, raining terror on women in their most vulnerable states.
No such agent of chaos or malevolence exists.
In her place, a supernatural woman does stand.
A being of gifted and generous spirit.
Doing the best she can.
Constance makes a compact with the universe.
I'll give my honor for one unholy night. My complacency for desire to set right. My well-staged life for torn and blood-stained sheets. My future for immediate supernatural relief.
I hear your needs and will answer your plea. When the veil is thinnest this Hallows Eve, I'll enter your chamber transformed as a bat. Your menses in bloom is means to attract.
So vulnerable, yet exhilarating. Strange feelings are these, wide open and intoxicated, hard to find ease. Alone, together, my wildest fantasies I'll reap. Together, but alone, she'll haunt my sleep.
I'm uncertain in my abilities to please. Wings can do miracles, but not sexually. A spell I'll cast to disguise my apprehension. An aphrodisiac in a trance, my signature convention.
Night comes, Lilith slips through the cracked window to find Constance lying prone on the bed, her flesh glowing pink in the darkness. Thus, Lilith speaks her spell.
Hold 3 treasures close. The first, intimacy. The next, desire. The third, pure sexual pleasure. Turn now to the dark world of slumber.
Before Lilith can complete the spell, Constance reaches for her with a curious hand. First a light touch circling the tip of her clitoris, then slowly, rhythmically kneading her. She holds Lilith in a trance of her own. Lilith's head lay back, her wings spread wide, her body dissolved and vibrating.
Lilith contracts her body as Constance's legs part at impossible angles. The bat seeks out the reddest, softest part of her to gorge upon. Then, when she has had her fill, she slips deeper into the cave and remains agonizingly still, except for the humming and the pulsing of her wings.
He unfurls across my body, dividing my hunger and thrills into fractals, leaving me on the far side of consuming waves. I am washed clean, vanished gratefully from this world. Act 2, fly away.
Fingers teasing at the seam, Constance begins to tear a continuous strip across the wall, watching the exposed honey bubble and ooze. It takes her no time to figure out how to fashion bite-sized bits from the paper, coating each with honey, and place them on her tongue. She gorges. And while moments before she was anxious and hollow, now through this simple act of eating, she's on her way to becoming whole.
Spiraling downward on open wings, slicing through clouds of pungent steam, I wake up panting, wet with mist, to a humming, a buzzy bumping against the window. The golden bee knocks languidly at the pane of rippling glass. A dangling crystal twists slowly, scattering rainbows across the sash.
As Constance pushes open the frame, her ear feels the breeze of the bee, its song like a faraway train, a hymn that sets her free.
I don't know how to love her, what to do, how to find her. She's so far away. And I'm stuck up in this room under a lock and key. I love her so, I just don't know. So far from me. Where is that key?
Locked in her room nightly for her own good, Constance sits up in her bed when she hears the scrape of the key against the lock. 2 servants enter, one carrying a breakfast tea and the other a silk gown complete with close-fitting bodice, flowing skirt, beads and feathers by the pound. 3 hours later, Constance is dressed, but not entirely present, barely able to breathe. Corset cinched to a sadistic degree, she swoons as she makes her way down to the great hall to host yet another celebrity ball.
She had it coming. She had it coming. She had it coming. She only had herself to blame.
She's been a dreadful disappointment from day one. On the wedding night, all she could do was cry. She had to be forced, most distasteful, but what was a groom to do? This continued for weeks until, well, separate rooms were assigned. After all, it's a mansion with many doors that can be silenced in the night.
I bet you would have thought the same. The hall is buzzing. The hall is buzzing. My head is splitting from the pain. All eyes are watching.
Always late for the photo ops. Her fashion sense is abysmal. And as far as fundraising goes, well, let's just say she hardly has the touch. We've had to hire a planner, a secretary, a personal trainer, an etiquette specialist, and a handler. She's not the well-bred social climber the governor had been promised.
All eyes are watching as I fall. The room is spinning. The room is spinning. I only have myself to blame.
We have the doctors on board now. Everything's going to be arranged. Hysterectomy, shock therapy, and to be on the safe side, a frontal lobotomy. Of course, an annulment and a long-term stay in a sanitarium for the hysterically insane.
All eyes are watching as I fall. Constance wakes up and recalls the humming of the bee, the song of a new life, long strips of wallpaper savoring the thick sweetness, and thoughts of Lilith.
In the darkness, locked in her room, she listens as the mansion quiets, save for the ticking of the clocks.
Tick, tock,
Ticking,
tick,
ticking,
tock.
ticking.
1 hour, 2 hours, then waiting one more for good measure. Pushing open the window, she climbs out on the ledge, 3 floors up.
She looks skyward rather than down, scanning the moonless sky. From out of the darkness, ebony wings glide noiselessly, sweeping Constance up into the night, tumbling,
Spinning,
falling,
falling. She rights herself, thrusts her wings, iridescent, shimmering, pumping into the night. Act 3. Constant cravings.
Over a frozen sea, ground lights swelling and fading. Following her dark wake, Constance streaks through the night. In an abrupt dive, following her dark, they both speed down into a whirl of phantasmagorical colors.
Colors.
Lights.
Traffic.
People.
What is this place? Is it Venice? Paris? A neon circus? Oh, welcome to Las Vegas, baby. Lilith leads Constance into her lair. Underground, with clouds etched on the walls and ceilings, a labyrinth synthetically lit, as though always twilight. On stage, Constance watches Lilith perform tricks and illusions. Her dull black gown changes to sequined red. A chair dissolves in flames. Doves coalesce into a white dancing bear. Her last stunt, high above, sailing from a precipitous perch, Lilith zeroes in on a glass of champagne. With a fizzy splash arcing across the audience, the stage erupts into an explosion of bats, cresting like a wave, and then vanishing into the night.
Meanwhile, Constance staggers out onto the strip under flashing neon. A volcano heaves and spits fake magma. A 300-foot eye looks down on her. Tourists wander under a pint-sized Eiffel Tower, sucking down buckets of alcohol. Hawkers move people in and out of shows. Attractions.
Casinos. A 50-foot poster proclaims, "Are you ready to party?" It features 10 sculpted men with white collars, cuffs, and a black bow tie. She can hear females screaming over the deep throb of bass. Under the awning, Chippendale's Best Male Review. The peddler outside shouts, "Sensual, dark, and sexy." Constance is easily led into the damp interior.
Past glow-in-the-dark palm trees, near naked, stand the men, shining and glowing under the stage lights. A deep urge clenches her gut as the men stomp and grind their way into the audience of giddy girls and menopausal women.
Constance catches the eye of one who takes her up in his ropey arms, swings her across his back and then onto his lap. He smells like oranges. Skin slippery as glass. He takes her to the edge over and over. Meanwhile, Lilith has been pacing the penthouse throughout the night.
Darling, there you are. It's 10 a.m. You missed supper last night. Did you forget it was Wednesday? Our special night, Jeopardy and popcorn. What happened?
Oh, listen, I just don't eat that crap anymore. I'm off carbs. And I ran into Chip, and then I ran into Dale, and then we painted the town red, and I don't know.
I fear I'm losing you to those men. Darling, you've been dickmatized. Hey, I got an idea. Why don't you be my assistant?
Oh, what do I have to do? Is the outfit going to be cute?
Oh, you'll have a costume designer. I'll get you all fixed up and looking fine.
All right, that sounds like fun. And then you'll never believe what happens next. Oh, sorry. I messed up.
Opening night.
Oh, sorry. Opening night of Lilith's new show. The curtains part, revealing a desert oasis. Palm trees swaying, camels dozing. Through a cloud of incense, the belly dancers swirl in. Lilith rises up through a ring of fire. High above the dancers, she is spinning and arcing over the audience. Lightning sparks from her fingertips. The spectators, ooh and ah.
Meanwhile, Constance stumbles in from stage left, looking dazed. She trips over a belly dancer and plants her headdress into a paper palm tree. A stagehand quickly pulls her off the stage.
Here's my line. And you'll never believe what happened next.
You want to guess? Constance is in the psych ward. Arrested just as she tried to leap off the Eiffel Tower. Lilith glowers at the ward nurse who refuses to give her access to Constance.
The doctors crowd around me. Their words mumbled and disjointed. Bipolar. Schizophrenia is more likely. Delusional. Paranoid. Okay, shock treatment a possibility. Asylums, retreats, drug recommendation plans. The final act, Act 4, the soliloquy.
To be or not to be, it's not my question.
To be is to walk proudly into the fire of life?
Immortality poses its own examination, not a life or death decision.
Knowing as immortal, I shall perish flying high in a ball of love-ignited fire.
Our common ground is to live hard for whatever life is available.
But there comes a moment when hope vanishes, the ground tilts, and we're flung into death's abyss.
To dream, to aspire.
Dreams dashed by overreaching greed and guilt.
For what is life if not besotted by visions? To dream is to live with hope and passion.
Wishes growing wings, ignited by dreams, scaring away oblivion, desperation, darkness. But then my one true wish turning tragic.
Well, to relinquish that is to surrender to a living death.
Delusions and depressions, it's said, can be cured by potions.
But what of delusion, the thing that's wished for but impossible to achieve? Constance, I was your queen when you called, but you were never fully mine.
There you go again, lording your title over me.
Our love, a flame that once burned bright, incendiary, momentary, now gone.
I will not be ruled over, owned, or promised. Love burns hot in my heart, given freely, igniting all that is creative, curious, and constant.
My lovelorn weakness is your strength, the better part of me, human, yours, godlike.
To love is to be courageous, open, vulnerable. I wear no crown of gold. I am my own God.
What good is immortality in a life lost of love? What fate awaits me in this endless despair?
Oh, why so maudlin?
My eternal life is one of relentless memories.
Look at you, all glowing, with glossy black wings, standing as tall as a church steeple. You'll grieve, move on. Don't cry for me.
We were joined, and then not. Was that our fate all along?
If not inspired, love dies. The lyrics gone, the melody forgotten.